What to do when you find someone you love or trust has been talking about you with someone else you love and trust.
What do I say?
DanTheGunnerTraining.com
Gives you the words. He gives.
All right, so I got a letter from a viewer, and she asked, what should she do? She went into the garage and was organizing some things and found a box of letters that her husband had been writing to family members, and that family members had been then responding to the husband. Tip number 1, destroy all letters like that.
Amateur mistake. Amateur.
What should she do? I thought, haha, this is a perfect question for Ask Dan. All right, so first of all, let me state, if you did this, if you found some letters and saw that people were talking about you and then read them, or if you were going through some emails and saw an email that accidentally came to you, and in that letter people were talking about you, nobody would blame you for reading it. That happens. It's almost impossible to resist the temptation until it's happened to you a few times. It has happened to me. In fact, recently it happened to me in a little different situation. I was talking to my mother on the telephone, and okay, so I have the tendency to sometimes arrive a little bit late when we have plans. So she said,
Daniel, where are you?
and I said, I'm leaving the house right now. And she said,
All right.
and she said,
Well, that was Daniel.
and as soon as I heard her start, I hung up the phone because I did not want to hear what she said about me. And the reason is because that's happened before and it just causes problems. That was not meant for my ears. I just did a video about what to do when people bring you gossip about you. And the first thing to do is recognize who the gossip is and label them the gossip. Well, in this situation, if I were to take information and basically eavesdrop, whether I accidentally found the information or stumbled upon it or not, once I decide to proceed in receiving the information that was not meant for my ears, that makes me an eavesdropper and a gossip. So the person that I should label and be upset with is me. This is one of the 9 principles. Don't let facts get in the way of the truth. The fact is, my mother complains about me and everybody. The truth is, she loves me and takes care of me more than anybody. So don't let facts get in the way of the truth. Many times we do. For example, to this woman who found the letters. Your husband may have been gossiping about you with your family, and they may have been gossiping back about you. That's a fact. The truth is, it sounds like those are all the people who love you the most. And it sounds like they still love you because this is an event that happened in the past. And maybe what we want to do is remember another one of the 9 principles. If there's something missing from a relationship, like trust, that thing can only possibly be what we are not giving to the relationship. So maybe we could try trusting that these people, when they were talking about us, weren't simply engaging in idle gossip. Maybe they were working through issues they had with you. And maybe there was a little bit of truth to what they said. So maybe we could be honest with ourselves. And that might help heal this problem. Another thing is, if you think that, well, they should have come to me with it, maybe you should come to them with that. Because we only have a couple of options. When we receive messages about us that weren't meant for us, now that the damage has been done, because it's damaging, this was not supposed to be that way, we have to atone. We have to make it right. What I recommend doing, and what I have done in the past when this has happened to me and it's worked wonders, is another one of the 9 principles. Principle number 9, forgiveness is the only option. Now, having said that, you may believe that you deserve an apology. So again, let's go back to one of the principles. I love the 9 principles because if you have a communication dilemma, once you go through the 9 principles, if you are honest and really work them, they solve any problem we have. And if I go back to, it is only possible that what's missing from the relationship is what I am not giving. If I'm looking for an apology, if I believe that I need somebody to apologize to me, maybe I should apologize to them. Maybe, for example, I could go to the person and say, I have to apologize to you for something. I found these letters. I saw that they were about me. I read them anyway, knowing that you didn't intend them for me. And I've been harboring this ever since. And I want you to know I apologize. I am sorry for what I did. And I'm letting it go because I realize that you love me and that those conversations weren't meant for me. So I'm asking you to forgive me for that. And what you will find is, not only is it very liberating, but because we should apologize for what we do, even when other people do you wrong, we should apologize for when we do wrong. You know what I mean? That doesn't make it right. And when you do that, chances are they will apologize to you and, tell you what happened and feel horrible about it. And in the process, everything gets atoned. I mean, we really can atone for things and heal the past, the present, and the future. Because when we do that, when we are entering into that love is the only option space, we are acting as creation acts. Call it whatever you want to call it. That is what creation is. It's all loving. When we do that, creation has no rules. It is not bound by time and space. If you believe in a God, or if you believe in, love is all there is, or whatever, that is not contained by time or space laws. When we are acting in that capacity, neither are we. And you will note that the hurt you felt in the past will be healed. The hurt you feel in the present will be healed, and you will no longer feel that hurt. It is such a powerful thing when you truly go through the steps and you do it. And you begin to realize it's true. We are in relationship with other people, not for them. This is not about them. This is about you. If it came up, it's because it's supposed to. Relationships are supposed to bring up things in us that we have not yet worked through. And it sounds like this is something you haven't worked through. Maybe you didn't know it was an issue, but it is. Maybe you're upset with not that they were talking about you, but what they think about you. Maybe that's what's upsetting. And maybe it's upsetting because it's true. We tend to get upset about things when they're a little bit true, and we just didn't want to know that people actually knew it, saw it, and thought it. Let them work through it. We talk about other people that we live and work with because, again, we're working through issues that we have with them, which are really issues that we have in us. And so this issue, ipso facto, is not really about them. It is about you. Work through it and do it in a loving way. Forgive them. Ask them to forgive you. Recognize the truth and disregard the facts. And if you do that, you will set them and yourself free from this issue. If you do not work through it in a loving way,
You will be doomed to go through it again.
So remember, basically in all situations, when we experience things like this especially, one of the keys is principle number 9. Forgiveness is the only option. And remember that whatever you say it with love. Whenever you communicate in a loving way. You can do it. Even if the final answer is you need separation from these people. If that is it, that is it. But get there and recognize it and do it in a loving way, and you shall forever set yourself free from this issue. Because it's really not about those letters. That's just an illusion. And it's not about this fight. It's not about the anger, and it's not about the frustration. It's not about the betrayal. All of that is an illusion. When it comes right down to it, only deal in what is reality. Only deal in what is real. And when it comes right down to it, love is all there is. So if you'd like to review that, or if you'd like to get started with a kit, make sure to download our free communication starter kit, which you'll find below, after you have subscribed to this channel, which you'll also find a button to do so below. And once you've done that, go and check out the other videos. I'm going to put a link to one of the 9 principles. So I hope that you enjoy that. And this is Dan O'Connor for Dan O'Connor Training, signing off.
He gives you the word.